Hey Gav, today I thought I'd do something a little bit different and solve a Sudoku in the video. As you know, I've been kind of obsessed with Sudoku lately, thanks to a YouTube channel called Cracking the Cryptic, which you can find on YouTube, Cracking the Cryptic. I've even tried making some Sudokus, which are all on my website, which I'll link to below. This is quite a complex one. I will not be able to solve it within 4 minutes. It took Cracking the Cryptic 42 minutes to solve it, and I promise you I am not nearly as good as them. So I'm going to explain the rules and then record myself solving it and then do a time lapse. So the longer it takes me to explain the rules, the shorter the time lapse will have to be. Bit of a complex one. The standard Sudoku rules apply, which is to say that the numbers 1 through 9 have to be in every row, every column, and every one of these boxes. So you can't repeat, like this couldn't be a 1, this couldn't be a 1, and this couldn't be a 1 because it would repeat in the row, column, or box. As well as that, at the end of this, every cell will be either green or blue. And the rules are that all the blue cells must be orthogonally connected. So at the end of the game, it could look something like this. As well as that, you cannot have a 2x2 area of blue. That's not allowed. So this would be an illegal configuration, but that would be fine. The green is islands. So the blue is water, green is islands. Islands must be at least 3, and again, orthogonally connected. They can touch each other diagonally. So this would be completely legal. And a number cannot repeat in a green cell, so in an island, sorry. So if this was an 8, then that would mean that this cannot be an 8 because they're on the same island. So that means islands can either be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. The last little element is these arrows. This tells you how many cells in that direction match the color of this, not including itself. So for example, this one would be a 2 because there are 2 cells in that direction of the same color as that. This would be impossible because that would have to be a 0, and there's no 0 in Sudoku, but let's say this one was blue. This would now be a 1. And you can see that this one couldn't be, say, a 4 because there aren't 4 cells in that direction. So that's everything we know. From that, I'm going to try and solve the entire Sudoku. I'm expecting it'll take me probably about 2 to 2.5 hours, but this handy dandy little timer will tell you I'm going to stop talking, start again, and solve it. So, as you can see, well, as you will shortly see, I did manage to solve it. And I didn't even have to restart, which often with these more complex Sudokus I do, I'll find something wrong 90% of the way through and have to restart the whole thing, which can be frustrating or it can be invigorating depending on what kind of mood I'm in. This time I actually got the whole thing done in a single solve. However, earlier my browser did crash. The other thing is, and I should have thought this through before I started, this was done at the same time as a werewolf game that I'm running. If you remember, Gav, I used to run werewolf games back in Melbourne. I've started a new werewolf game with some board game industry people. It's very fun, but also very time consuming. And I was trying to solve this while the voting hour was happening, so I was quite distracted at times. This sounds like excuses. I'm actually pretty happy with my solve time. It was about 2.5 hours, I think, all things considered. At one point, I switched windows, so hopefully that doesn't show anything too scandalous. As I record this, the video is freaking out. I'm hoping it exports okay because it's not like speeding up 10,000 times, which is what I had to set it to have it work. But yes, I did solve it. I solved it in about 2.5 hours. It was a beautiful Sudoku. If you want to try it, I'd recommend it. It's just a really fun little solve. And I'll link to the Cracking the Cryptic solve below. That's all for me. I will see you next time.